one of the projects that passed the participatory budgeting process last year, idea that Pete submitted, it was to post a welcome sign at all the neighborhoods, each of the neighborhoods in District 3. So now we're getting to the point where we're implementing the project, and that's why I've come to CLC for help on the implementation part of this. The project, it's to make a sign, and there's some specs that went through with the process. It's a 24 by 24 inch sign, so it might look something like this. Just posted in one spot for each neighborhood. And, it could be a generic thing like a logo for the neighborhood association, or a photograph from somewhere in the neighborhood. Here's one that's the City of San Jose seal. Or it might be a generic photo from somewhere around the city, the cathedral downtown. So what we need is to be able to contact each of the neighborhoods and get their input to find out what they want the sign to look like, what the image will be on it, what the text and font might be, and then also the location. So the city has said that it should be on a major street somewhere in the neighborhood, but the neighborhood needs to be able to pick that out. So I've got a list of the active neighborhood associations from the D3 office. There's about, I think, 20 or 25 active neighborhoods. There's about 35 total neighborhoods, so there are some that don't have anything going on active. So what we'd like to do is to be able to contact all of the active neighborhoods, get their input, and then also provide generic input for those neighborhoods that don't have an active association, or they don't respond or don't have any preference. And so that's what I'm here to ask.
And let me emphasize, I think that generic thing is the most important part, because the amount of art skill between Bert and me combined is below zero. Neither one of us can do it. Do you know an artist who could come up with a generic District 3 graphic of some sort, a picture of something that identifies that we all live in District 3? We don't like the idea that it's some generic San Jose thing. We would like, but what is that? Neither one of us can come. He had a picture of the cathedral, because that's maybe as much of a landmark that we've got. So if you know an artist or somebody who could contribute some time to pick that generic one, the rest of us, the job is to go out and knock on the doors of our adjoining neighborhoods who don't come to the table here and ask them, where do you want to put this? What would you like to look at? The people who don't respond are going to get the generic one, and we'll pick the location ourselves. So if you know somebody who can contribute on this, it would really be useful. Otherwise, you're going to get engineers putting stuff.
Is there requirements? Like, is there specifics? Like, the size has to be a certain size. It has to be a certain color. It has to be done by a certain date. It has to have.
We do have a deadline to get this submitted to the city, May 20th.
So these have already been approved?
Yes.
And paid for.
Yes.
From last people?
Last people.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this isn't.
There's $1,000 per sign in the budget.
1,000.
Yeah, it's 24 by 24. It's got, I think, a metal frame around it, 2 posts stuck in the ground.
I never heard. Okay, good. Yay.
And so you all are saying that you want images on them, and
It could have an image on it. It could be without an image if a neighborhood cares to just have their name, that's all. I mean, it's sort of up to them. It's a chance for each neighborhood to customize it for themselves.
so it can be customizable. Because the reason why I'm asking, I've seen in some neighborhoods currently. Oh, I forgot the name. Is it Negley? They have that big cement, that one. And then you have, not just here, but in other cities, you might have something, so like in Michigan, you'll have something that's related to the automotive industry as an arch coming into certain communities.
Nothing that expensive.
And that's what I was
It's a
trying
2-foot by 2-foot sign,
Yeah.
period.
It has to be
It's about like a speed limit sign. It's about the same size as that.
So there's a chance that I can get someone to design something generic, but how do you feel about this being on the sign? I mean, and if we can't get something created, what do you want it to exude? Like historical, Silicon Valley?
Yeah.
That kind. And
You're asking the wrong one. But I think the having this logo would be silly.
okay.
Nobody knows what this means.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not a bad logo, but it doesn't, you drive down the street, welcome to my neighborhood with that on it. It just, I'd rather do the city seal or something like that, or even the cathedral is my vote, but.
It's actually, it's really important to understand that, and this is a great thing to see coming out of PB, is that when it comes to signage, and if the city was to produce a signage, it will suck, because we pick very, very plain, boring looking signage, and just the bare minimum. And sometimes it will not fit the character of a neighborhood, right? Not to say that, and it's because when it comes to aesthetics, the city really, it's not really the city's responsibility to ensure that, what's artistic and what's not, right? Because we want to be as fair as possible. That's why the city always select very plain looking signs. And so this is a community driven project, and so it is actually your prerogative on how you want these signs to look and how they fit the character of your neighborhoods.
And the first proposal from the city was that they would have one sign, or they would all look alike, all the same.
There's neighborhood identity.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
So we
Yeah.
pushed back on that and tried to give a chance for each neighborhood to come up with their own.
So it could be historical. Delmas Park, Antoine Delmas was the guy who brought either Zinfandel or Cabernet grapes to California. So it'd be great to feature grapes or wine or a picture of him. My neighborhood in Market Almaden, John Ballback was in there, who set up a lot of things downtown. So it could be just a picture of this guy. So it could be an individual. I like the historical thing myself. But like I say, neither one of us has any art skills. So if anybody's got ideas for their neighborhood, Hensley's got a lot of interesting things that have gone on there. So.
Is it a way to have everyone meet, or at least one person from each neighborhood association meet, at least at the beginning of the month, and maybe discuss how to make it
Yeah,
easy?
that's what I was thinking. I think May 20th is way too soon, because we meet once a month, the
Yeah.
neighborhoods. And so to get the word out, just to get it out and then just to have them respond, I don't think it would be.
It's going to be tough, but the project has to be completed by the end of this fiscal year. So it's this year's fiscal money that's being
So the
spent.
Might be something interesting for the schools to get involved.
That's fine.
And I'm thinking about, elementary schools or something like that, to where they could compete and talk about particular things in their neighborhood that were important historically or whatever. We just discovered, what we've known for a while, that Goodyear Mastic was a working class Italian neighborhood, and it was known as Goose Town. And I think that has far left, and I think that maintaining that or putting it as a feather in our hat would be something very similar.
So who's willing to contact all the neighborhoods then?
Wait. So on that. So when the printing date is set for the signs, or is that why the art is due by May 20th, or?
We need to have the package of everything to the city by March 20th.
Okay, so before that.
Yes. So we need to meet unless.
And is this something that you plan on posting on Nextdoor, like, dear neighborhoods, we're doing this, and contact us?
For my neighborhood, we're going to have a meeting next week, and we're going to talk.
But
it
for all the
out.
others?
Well,
No, but
that's-
how about inviting all the others to your meeting next week? Wouldn't that basically? Hi, David.
I'm sorry, say that again?
So you know a lot of people from the other neighborhood associations, don't you?
I know some, not everyone.
Don't you? Just admit to it.
Well, between him and the 4 other staffers, or however many there are.
Yes. So how about you all submit like one name from each, or 1 or 2 names from each of those neighborhood associations?
So
we have them.
yeah, so we have essentially supported the group in getting all the information. It's really on the onus of the neighborhood association themselves on how they want to figure that out internally. So that part is done already.
So we have
also-
that. So are you
So are-
inviting them? Because
Are you okay with a short posting on Nextdoor? Like, if I were to do it just generically?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be-
Could I suggest that, to the extent neighborhood reps are here, and I know none of them here, is that they do the posting.
Yeah,
Because what I'm concerned is if then we would have two different groups not talking to each other from the same neighborhood, and then it becomes a big brouhaha.
and it would have to be like that because, like, I don't have access to post to a whole lot of other neighborhoods
Right,
anyway.
yeah. So that if we post it and then internal, and so you need our total design by May 20th.
No,
Before.
no, before. The
before.
application,
Well,
yeah,
well, by May 20th. If
By
I-
May 20th?
Yeah,
Okay.
if we get it on May 20th, then
in the application.
How are we submitting it to you, like via email or?
I guess. I guess.
How about we use the District 3 CLC email as the central point?
And and I'm sorry, I stepped out for part of this. Are there any particular design guidelines?
That's what I was gonna say. Artists are gonna wanna know what parameters.
Yeah.
Before they even approach designing that, because an image may look great when it's this big, but when it's
But it
on a
looks
metal
crappy,
sign,
yeah.
yeah.
Or we don't like one offensive.
Yeah, the
thing,
only
so-
guideline I got from the Public Works guy was, don't have anything that has a lot of blue on it or a lot of red on it because it's gang colors.
Oh, okay.
If it's gonna be a picture, make it something that you could easily see when you're driving down the road, but would not be distracting,
And not too detailed.
not a whole lot of detail.
Can
And,
we see your examples?
sure.
Yeah.
So my question is, are you all gonna send an email out to notify the other neighborhood associations to see if somebody can be
We have no way to reach them.
emails?
I do have these list of emails.
Oh, those
from
came in
Jack.
from the council office, are the ones from there? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would suggest emailing them if you're meeting next week to see if any of them are willing to come, or at least giving them the information
Well,
and
this is
see.
gonna be one small part of our neighborhood meeting, so, it'd be better if they would meet on their own.
So how do they know? How are,
Well, we would notify them. They
So
would
you
have to
could-
be notified.
okay,
I guess I need some help with this.
and that's my question. Because the only thing, honestly, the only thing I can say is there's so many different neighborhood associations, they need to be contacted as soon as possible, but informed on what it is, when it's due, and what you're hoping to get back from them, whether it's them doing it on their own, or if it's them doing it in the group of all the neighborhood associations working together to get something similar, I guess would be.
It doesn't have to be similar.
It doesn't, but how do I know that? Like, I'm just saying the information that you want to send out to them.
And would a design guideline be just, X neighborhood? Or would it be like X neighborhood association? Or is there any, it can be whatever you want?
Yes.
It's a
Okay.
free-for-all.
That's the problem, I agree, that's the problem.
Within $1,000 and the constraints is on the color and not blinding
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah, but I mean, I was talking about not the look, but the name,
Yeah, I mean,
so it could be Delmas Neighborhood, or it could be Delmas Neighborhood Association. Whatever
Okay,
we
so the
want.
question is, can something be rejected?
I'm sorry?
Can something be rejected? Do we know if something
Yes, something.
Yeah,
Yes, something can be
okay.
rejected.
So how do we know what could be rejected? To start from there.
I believe Public Works have given you guys all the parameters, right?
So just,
Actually, we were
Just
told
that?
Raul would
Blue and red.
approve.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the idea. So remember that these signs, they will be sitting on public property, which is
On a post,
on
right?
the posts or whatnot, right? On street lights and et cetera. And so the city. So what I'm guessing is that the city will probably be somewhat flexible on what the design is, but obviously within reason. Obviously if you're going to put something offensive or whatnot, then that's something that we're going to reject. So yes, if something is offensive on the sign, we will reject it. But if it's something that is up for debate, then that we have to take it case by case. It can't just be a one size fits all because every neighborhood is different.
As far as the name, to me, if you make a good effort or an honest effort to reach as many people in the neighborhood as possible, and you just don't get it in, and you come up with a name, whether it's neighborhood or neighborhood association,
Yeah, who's to be?
yeah.
A related question then would be, the second thing is, where does this one sign go? Does that need to be decided by May 20th?
yeah,
Oh, it does. All of it.
yeah. And
Okay,
that-
so we
and
need-
that-
Okay,
The
that's,
guideline for that
Design.
is a major street, so not just some side
sure,
street.
not in
but-
front of my house.
Location,
Okay.
major
Okay, so
On the
okay.
railroad.
We can
On the
follow.
Yeah, on the railroad.
That's correct.